Okay, this is lesson 2, week 5. We're going to introduce you guys to Photoshop for video. Mainly photographers use Photoshop, but I've used Photoshop for video projects and After Effects for a long time. It's a great character generator, and you're going to have 2 short assignments for this in Photoshop. You're going to build a lower third, you're going to design it, you're going to take it into After Effects, and then you're going to animate what you do. And then you're going to also take a piece of video and change it into a smart object. And then you're going to export video out of Photoshop. So that's where we're going to, when I'm going to do these in little short modules. Okay. So I opened up Photoshop. Here's Photoshop on a Mac. And I'm going to say create new. Okay. And this pops up. And notice over here, film and video for my choices. So I'm going to choose film and video. Okay. And hey, there's my different video formats. It has some templates in here if you guys want to play with some layered templates. And I can go to view all presets and hey, look, there's DV, which we would never touch again. I bet you there's some 4K and some film. Hey, there's an 8K film, a 4K film. We're just going to keep it pretty simple right now. And we're just going to stay at 1080p. And I can choose a color background, which I'm going to actually use black. That way it's easier to work with. Don't worry about anything else. So then if I say create, okay, here's Photoshop. Look what it builds in for you. It already has safe action areas and safe title areas. So when you're building things with the guides, which that's really, really nice. A lot of times I'll use Photoshop to cut things out. So real quick, I'm going to go to File, Open, and I took a picture of a couple things I want to cut out. And then I want to go to my DME Spring, day 5. I have some stuff in here. There's some media, and I've been walking my dog a lot. So when I take him for walks, I kind of just collect stuff off the road, which is kind of crazy, huh? So real quick, I'm going to come into here and I want to just cut this bolt out real quick. I'm going to zoom into this bolt. Okay. And there's different tools I can use. I'm just going to use the pen tool real quick. And I'm going to create a path on this bolt. And as soon as I connect it, it's connected. And I'm going to come over here to paths. And I'm going to make a selection out of that path. And I'm going to do a 2 feather on it. So I can copy this, edit, copy. I'm going to come back over to this original thing and go edit, paste. So there's my bolt in a, and I'm going to clean it up a little bit. So now that I have this over here, I want to come in and get rid of this part right here. And again, I'm just and if you've took the Photoshop class and you guys have better ways of cutting things out, just like After Effects, there's a lot of different ways to do different things. So I'm going to do a Command X. Ooh, I'm in paths, so I shouldn't have. I'm going to undo. I'm going to go to paths. I'm going to make that a selection. And I'm going to keep it at 2. And now I'm going to Command X, delete it. So now I have my little bolt I cut out. And we talked about alpha channels before. So if I want to save this, I'm going to go back to layers. And notice I have 2 layers here. So with this, if I go to channels, hey, there's my RGB, red, green, and blue. I'm not really seeing my alpha channel yet. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, yeah, I'm not seeing it. We'll probably see it here in a bit. So I'm going to go back to layers. See my background here? I'm going to throw that out. So now this pretty much represents an alpha channel. So if I go back to channels, you can kind of see where we're at. And I want to save this to be able to work with it in After Effects. So I'm going to do a File, Save As, and I'm going to put it back in this folder, and I'm going to say Bolt Cutout Photoshop. And I'll come back to this after a while too, to be able to animate this. So I'm going to just save that to where I know where it is, and I'm going to save it as a Photoshop document. Okay. I know it has an alpha channel because it is a Photoshop document. If I want to take this into, like, let's say we're going to use this in a live show, this little graphic I just made of a bolt. If I want to take this into our Blackmagic ADEM switcher as a graphic with an alpha channel, I need to save this. I could save as a JPEG, but what happens, I'm going to save it two ways just to show you real quick. I'm going to do a save as, and I'm going to save it as a PNG, and that has an alpha channel on it. Okay. I'm also going to save it as a JPEG, and a JPEG, notice this turned white right away. I'm going to quit out of it. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to come back and look at what we just built real quick. Okay, so if I open up this JPEG, it has a white background on it. If I open up the PNG, it's also going to have a white background, but if I take it into a After Effects or something, that background will be gone. Okay, and I didn't look at my alpha channel very close, so I might have some junk on there, but again, that's how I build graphics to go into things. So that's our introduction to Photoshop. And just to show you real quick, I'm going to go into After Effects. I'm going to open up that little project we just built just to show you. And I'm going to open up the alpha channel thing. I'm going to import those two files that I just made. So the Photoshop, I'm going to actually put all three in. And I'm going to bring them in as compositions. Or actually, I'm going to bring them in as footage. I'm going to say open. Okay. Watch what happens when I bring the JPEG in. Notice it has the white background. So I'm going to undo that. Then I'm going to bring in the PNG. And remember, that PNG file has an alpha channel. Okay. And we can layer this and do whatever we want with it. And if I'm going to turn off my video again, and then I'm going to go show my alpha, and you can see the alpha channels. Okay. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to turn my video back on. And I'm going to go back to RGB, and I have everything back. So again, that's how I can use Photoshop and After Effects together.